Hello, welcome to the Sunnydale Diaries, a podcast where I, Sean,
And I'm Melanie.
watch and discuss every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and how the related themes of those episodes impact our lives.
Do they
They,
impact our lives?
they do. You gotta stretch sometimes.
All right.
I feel that we have identified several themes that have
Okay.
had an impact.
All right.
Last episode, enemies. The woman I wanted to headbutt. Boom,
That's right.
impact. Literal
Yeah,
impact.
impact with my car. All right. Sorry.
Today we are talking about season 3, episode 18, Earshot. If you are new to the podcast, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Don't forget that we have a contest going on right now. 5 by 7 by 5. That was tough to do. Haiku contest where if you submit a haiku related to season 3 of Buffy by emailing it to us at the sunnydalediaries@gmail.com, that will be your entry. And we have a fabulous prize for the winner.
I want to show it. This is
Okay, go for
motivation,
it.
people. I'm about to
All right.
motivate the hell out of you. Here we go. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see it. Here it comes. Ta-da! This is the Hot Topic exclusive release Funko of Wish First Willow. Appropriate for
Cool shot.
season 3 since we've seen her a couple times.
And I had never known that existed until you texted me about it.
I'm very excited about it. It's in my hot little hands right now, and it could be yours. I don't know what it retailed for, but I bought it for significantly more, I'm sure.
So
Yeah.
get those season 3 haikus in by emailing us at the sunnydalediaries@gmail.com. We've gotten a few entries already.
Yep.
Contest is going to run until the end of 2024. So,
And let me say this. Did we already mention this? Don't use ChatGPT. You
we
guys are
could tell.
creative. You can come up with a good haiku.
It's 17 syllables. You can do
Come
I believe
on.
in you. And if you enjoyed the podcast, please leave us a review or a rating if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe. Or I also recently found out that Spotify has comments for
Oh,
each episode. So drop
yep,
a comment. We've gotten
yep.
a few of those on there.
We have.
Yeah, this one definitely deals with some hearing thoughts, some ESP.
Are you and your husband close enough where you can hear each other's thoughts? You know what I mean? You know what the other one is thinking all the time?
I wouldn't say all the time, but there are definitely sometimes.
Yeah.
Or like when you're out and you want to leave and you just give each other the look.
The look. Yeah.
You don't have to say anything, just
Yeah.
the thing.
Simpatico.
I definitely finish each other's sentences
Yeah.
once in a while.
Yeah.
And sandwiches.
So, have you ever heard someone say something about you that you weren't supposed to hear?
That happened to me at work. Yep. Walked around the corner and people were in an in-depth discussion about me.
Oh.
Yep.
And what happened? How'd you play that off?
I just smiled and kept walking. But of course, mental breakdown.
After you left,
You know
after you
how
went
I
around
am.
the corner, you quietly had a
Yep.
breakdown.
Yep. What about you?
Yeah, that happened to me. I said last episode, the person that you mentioned, I walked into her office and she was there with one of the nurses, one of the process analysts, and they were talking about me. I think I pretended I didn't hear it, but yeah, I'm sure I dwelled on it for hours after that. And it certainly affected my opinion of those people.
Yeah,
Going
definitely.
forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about you and your husband? Do you have that mental connection?
Yes, only because our repertoire is limited. And I would say we're simpatico with like our inside jokes and that kind of stuff because we have a very limited shared database of pop culture references and that kind of stuff. As far as the same, you're married to someone long enough, you know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
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 What about mind reading in general, like ESP? Do you believe in that kind of stuff?
I think it is possible. brain waves are some kind of frequency. It's possible that someone could pick up that frequency. Now, maybe not like to the level of what happened in this episode of like actually hearing people's like thoughts in sentences, but picking up a vibe,
Mhm.
reading a room
I
thing.
wouldn't say that's ESP though. I would say reading a room is like a social skill,
Okay,
right?
fair. Yeah.
There is
But
something
I
to
do, I
that.
think,
Some people are more adept at that.
yeah. And then there are those that just aren't. I don't agree with you on
This
that.
girl. You don't agree?
No,
Oh.
no, you have tact.
I suppose it
But
depends
even
who
more
I'm
so,
around.
yeah, even more so than reading a room, though. I think
Yeah.
it's possible. Again, they're waves, they have a frequency. I think that there could be something happening there.
Yeah?
Yeah. Have you seen any other like shows or movies where a similar thing like this happened, where suddenly someone could hear people's thoughts?
Yes. What Women Want with Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And same
There was
kind of thing. It drove him mad.
Yeah. There was an episode of Charmed. Now, I feel like every episode of Charmed was, "Let's cast this spell. Oops, unexpected consequences."
Well, this show's
Where
like
I
that
think it was
too with the spells
no,
a lot of
absolutely.
times.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot more spells on Charmed, though, but I
Yeah.
think it was Shannon Doherty who she cast it on herself, and, of course, same thing, I think ends up losing it at the end
Yeah.
because you can't turn it off, you can't
Yeah.
shut it out. Yeah.
God, I go crazy just with the voices that are out loud that I hear all day. I can't
Just my
imagine in your
just that
mind.
my own voice in here is enough.
Oh, I just saw something online about when you're reading something or if you're thinking something, do you have the internal narrator?
It's me, but yes.
There's an actual voice in your head.
Hmm,
Not everybody has
not
that
everybody.
apparently.
Nope.
Apparently, it's not very common.
Yeah. And same thing with like some people just can't picture things in their head.
Yeah. Isn't that
Like, you
interesting?
tell me close your eyes, picture an apple. I'm picturing an apple right now,
Yeah.
but some people just don't do that. Yeah,
That's
and some people
amazing.
don't have the narrator. They don't think in full sentences. And I think it was my ninth grade social studies teacher. He started asking how many people in the class were bilingual. And then he said, "What language do you think in?" It's
Yeah.
like, ooh, never thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could have this ability and you're not where it like drives you crazy because you're hearing everything, but like you could be selective about it, would you want it?
No.
Yeah, I know. You were gonna say
No.
that.
I don't need I don't need to know. I don't need to know. And Buffy realized people are going through some stuff and you don't need to know the pain that people are
Hmm.
going through and yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah.
There's so many other better
It-
powers to have.
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It reminded me a little bit of like social media. So many people put the best presentation of themselves out there when in reality that's not
Yeah.
what they're going
That's not
through.
real.
They have problems, they're struggling,
Yeah.
and it reminded me of that because like some of the people, I think it was like the basketball player who another star person who we never saw before this episode, and I think he was saying his own problems
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. I was trying to think without googling. I was trying to think of other examples of this in TV or media. Commander Troy in Star Trek, a little, but that was more like
Oh,
empathy. Like, it wasn't like straight thought reading.
there was a character in American Horror Story Apocalypse, the Joan Collins character. She could read minds.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, she's in her 80s. I did not realize that.
She looks good.
She does look good. Yeah.
Yeah. I got nothing else.
Okay. Let's get into
Let's do
Earshot.
it. Let's get into this episode.
Alrighty. So we start off with a previously on,
Yes.
and it's pretty much the last episode.
Yeah, so there was a demon with no name and he's got books of
Hmm.
ascension. We still have no idea what that means. There was a big twist.
Yeah.
And Faith.
Oh,
What? Oh,
sorry.
what?
So that no, I meant to before we really got into it.
Oh,
So I don't know if you looked up trivia about this episode or anything, but it was a pretty big deal because this episode originally was supposed to air uh, late April of '99,
yeah.
and the Columbine shooting happened the week before.
Oh.
Yeah, so they pulled it. It didn't air until September.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I thought that was
They
important.
figured
I wanted to make sure
six
you knew
months
about
was
that.
enough time to grieve.
Yeah, so it was before the fourth season had started, but yeah, so it's interesting because there's some scenes in this episode that have a much later, an important impact later on in the season. And
Yeah.
when I watched it the first time without this episode, like something happened, I was like, "Huh, that's an interesting choice." But then after this came out,
Are
it
we
made sense.
watching now in the order that it aired the episodes, or we're watching the
We're watching the order
as it
as it
should
should
have
have
been?
been.
All right.
Yes. Yeah.
So how many
All
episodes
right.
are between when they skipped this one? You said it was like 6 months. How many episodes was that? Wow, that's interesting. Like, how confusing was that to you story wise?
But it's interesting because watching the rest of the season, there wasn't anything, in my opinion, pivotal in this episode that you really missed.
Oh,
There's one thing that I could think of that we'll talk about in, I think it's episode 20, but otherwise, you really didn't miss it.
okay.
Right? It is somewhat of a standalone episode, I would say.
Yeah.
It doesn't do too much to move along like the mayor plot line
No.
or yeah.
No, but so did they show it at the ascension is happening supposedly at graduation day. So
Mhm.
is that the end of season 3?
About that, yeah.
They showed this episode.
So the season ended, yeah, the season ended in May of '99, and then they just showed this one in September. Just the
But
only
so
episode
then
we
they were
didn't show.
talking about we don't know what the ascension is after we found out after the ascension happened?
Yeah, 'cause I
Okay.
think they still wanted to show what they created,
All right.
so
And people were
yeah,
like,
so that was
okay. This
yeah.
show, okay.
I don't even know that I had watched it when it premiered that in August. Remember, I feel like it was, like, later on when I had it on DVD that I had seen it for the first time because I don't think it was, like, widely advertised that, "Hey, we're gonna." And I don't know that my TiVo would have been set up to record it at
I don't
that
know. I
point.
feel like they probably could have just left it out, just not even shown this episode.
Yeah,
Except for
I
this is
agree.
like Danny Strong's big moment in the
Yeah.
series. All right, let's get back.
Right, so back to the previous fiancé, Books of Ascension,
Mhm.
evil,
Mhm.
Angel was evil but not real, and then Buffy's running through the playground.
Dead Kid Playground. That's what I'm gonna
Yeah,
call it
they
from
they
now
get
on. Dead Kid Playground.
they get a lot of use out of that playground set.
Out of that set, yeah. I think so too. And then she has a fight with I called them rubber suit demons.
Better than me, mine was no mouth, ugly looking demon.
It looked like they just stepped into a rubber onesie. That's the
Got some
costume.
liquid latex, sprayed it on.
Yeah, they were
It
creepy though
reminded
with
me
no
of like
mouths.
yeah, they remind me of like a monster from Doctor Who.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah. All right. She kills one of them and the other one runs off. And then
Hmm.
you see some really awful CGI fluorescent goo
But
on
yeah,
her
CGI
hands that just
extreme. Yep.
disappears like and you have no idea what that is. But then you see it on the guy and then the credits. It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
So
okay.
I think it was last episode you had pointed out the whoosh sound.
Mhm.
It's a child's like a torch, and it's in between Allison Hannigan and Nicholas Brendan's credits. You had pointed out that you didn't notice it before, so I went back and checked. So in seasons 1 and 2, we got the Amy's mom scream,
Yeah.
and then at the beginning of season 3, the scream is gone and the whoosh is in.
The scream is
So
gone, the whoosh is in.
that may be the episode title. How
All
long? We'll
right. I
see.
like it. Yeah.
So, so I would like to know why that happened. So if there's anyone who's listening who knows why there is this change in the credits,
Mhm.
I would like to know.
Have we seen the episode with this torch whoosh?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'll have to go back and see if I can find it.
Maybe that's an important episode plot point. I don't know.
I like it.
All right. We open at school. Apparently, Rubber Suit Demon is actually Scabby Demon. And Buffy is wearing her pastels.
She is in pink. That is like Trixie Mattel pink. I don't remember her in that shade of pink before.
No.
Oz is blonde again.
He's got that yellow blonde hair still.
Yeah.
Yep. We're researching the Ascension still, but we don't have any clues yet. We still don't know. It is notable that Wesley is nowhere to be found until he runs in late, noticeably late.
Council business.
Yes, council business.
I think he was in the broom closet with Cordelia.
Maybe. Giving her the business. Maybe I wrote that he comes in late with apologies and smarm.
Oh, yeah. I was talking to the council.
He is very smarmy. Buffy's hand is itchy, obviously from the goo.
Goo will do that to you.
A little goo will do ya. So then we're in the hallway and we find out Buffy hasn't really spoken to Angel since that whole episode with Faith because it was very upsetting to her to see that. She doesn't know if his feelings for Faith were, if he had feelings for her. You would think that she would ask him this and talk to him.
This show. I love this show, but my God. Get over it. This man loves loves her so much. It's so obvious. But he kissed Faith for 2 minutes and it's all over.
What is she, 17 now? 18?
She's 18 now, yeah.
She's got insecurity. That's all.
Grumble.
And then the basketball players are coming down the hall.
Hogan
Martin.
Yeah,
and Percy.
Hogan.
Pace.
At least Percy was there.
Percy's there. Yes. Percy is so short compared to Hogan. What the heck is Percy doing on this team? He's so small.
Speaking of small people.
Oh.
We've been rewatching Harry Potter this weekend. They're Christmassy and we've both been sick. And Devin Murray, who plays, of course, now I can't remember his name. The Irish kid. Yes. He's tiny.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Cute tiny, but tiny. Horse jockey tiny. That's all. I
was rewatching the first Harry Potter because I knew you were watching them. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to watch. And then I was reminded so much of Sean Biggerstaff and how cute he was in those early bits. Cutie pie.
Sean, yeah.
Cutie pie.
I do like.
All right. So everybody's going to go to the game except for Buffy, who has to do Slayer stuff. But everybody's going to go. Everybody's excited because they're in the championship. Buffy does go to Giles and tells him about her itchy hand, which is great because it could go either way. Buffy could just keep everything to herself. Sometimes she does that. Giles, luckily, has a picture of the demon that she fought and tells her you could be infected.
Yeah, it can infect the host with an aspect of itself.
The aspect of the demon.
Yeah. There was a mention about something about a good touch and not a bad touch, and then I thought of Bloodhound Gang.
Yeah.
The bad touch.
Yeah.
That's a good song.
Classic. She has fought demons before, though.
Mm-hmm.
Is it this specific demon that could infect her? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I think it's the species.
And they don't really give us a clue as to what that means, that she's going to be infected with an aspect of the demon.
Right.
Giles suggests maybe it's not the demon. Maybe it's just an allergy to fabric softener. Don't worry about it. And I said, even though you're in Sunnydale, of course it's not just fabric softener. Of course it's the demon. You should always, if there's a supernatural bad thing that's possible, it's that. It's not fabric softener.
I'm with you.
All right.
Yeah. He's doing his,
you should know this.
Yeah. He's doing his caring dad thing.
He is, but
I agree.
He also is, but it's probably not, but it's probably the demon. Then we go to the pep rally in the courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
Where Cordelia is in her cheer mode. And
they're cheering specifically for Hogan. I'm like, there's a whole team.
I think they cheered for each one of them. Because I noticed
Oh,
that
okay.
too, and I was like, "What's that about?" And then but I think I heard them saying another name later.
Oh,
But
god, maybe
man, that's
Percy or
gonna be a
something.
long pep rally.
Yeah.
Do you think
I
they
ours
huh?
I remember ours because they only did it once a year for the start of football, and I think it was, like, 2 periods long. That's
How many players are on a basketball team?
You're asking me like I would know that.
Alright, 5 players on the court at any given time. Do you think they cheer for the guys that are, like, 2nd string? All the bench warmers?
I hope so. If you're on the team, you're on the
That's a
team.
long pep rally, man. That's a long
It's a
cheer.
very long
That's a long cheer.
That's a lot of letter spelling.
Yeah, and then we go and Oz and Xander watching. Xander is totally ogling the cheerleaders, and he's, "I don't why did I want Cordelia? Look at all these girls. I could have any of these girls. They're all better." And Oz is just, like, being all philosophical about cheerleading and pep rally. Uh. And Willow is reading the newspaper that's been such a downer lately because this guy that writes the editorials, and that was quite an editorial he wrote about pep rallies.
Yeah, he's got some strong opinions there.
Yeah. And oh, Oz, no, I don't read that. I just read the obits because, of course, Sunnydale's high school paper has an obituary section.
Yeah, at first I thought he was just being Oz, but now there probably is one in there. Yeah.
But really, I know there's a lot of deaths, but are there enough for them to have an obituary section?
Uh, there's
Again, how have
probably
they not closed the
2
school if there's enough deaths in the school to have an obituary
I'm with
section?
you. I'm with you, but, yeah, I would say probably there's probably at least 2 kids dying a week. It depends on the class size. So, my husband's graduating class was 2,000 people. You lose 2 a
Eh,
week, not that noticeable.
eh,
Mine was 400,
yeah,
little no more noticeable.
okay, alright.
Plus the mayor is in charge of the town. He
Silly.
wants them to die.
Yeah. And then we see Xander gets upset because he sees Wesley looking at Cordelia as he's walking up the stairs.
Mhm.
Is something gonna happen
Buffy
between them? I hope not. That's so wrong.
between who? Cordelia and Wesley?
Yeah.
Good
Do
question.
you ever have a
We'll have to
crush on
wait
one
and
of your
see.
teachers?
No, none of my almost all of my teachers were, for me at the time, 17, old.
Oh, yeah.
So many of my teachers retired the year that I graduated high school. So it was just a weird cycle. I don't remember not one, not a single one.
No. We had a math
No.
teacher that came in, I think I must have been in a junior, and he had just graduated from college, so he wasn't that much older than us. And
Hmm.
I remember there were a lot of girls that had crush on this guy, and I was like, "Oh, man, that's not good."
Especially in Florida
Yeah, yeah, where that kind of stuff happens all the time.
all the time.
Oh, Florida. Okay. Buffy and Willow are discussing the aspect of the demon and what's going to happen. And again, I'm glad Buffy is being open with her friends about this, and at least Willow, because we have seen her be like very
To their way out.
internalized with her issues, especially Slayer related issues. Buffy's scared. So it's good that she's confiding in her friend.
It made me laugh when Willow was like, "Was it a boy demon?" Because she's worried about what kind of part she's gonna get. I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh
yeah, yeah.
man."
So this was funny too when they're sitting there and Buffy's just and Willow's, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "She's just touching her hair, Willow. It's not she's just doing this. What is wrong? What are you
I
doing?"
just realized you had the hat on the whole time.
Oh, I have. All right, I'll put my hat back on now that I've demonstrated that. Okay. Then we cut to Buffy walking home alone in the dark, as you do in Sunnydale, checking her mirror. She's still okay. And then bam, Angel's there right behind her. Stalker. Stalker.
He's good at that. He is very good at that.
But she's got super slayer skills. How does she not sense that?
It's a good question
Thank you. I'm here to ask
because
questions.
she has before.
Yeah, I know. Inconsistent.
He was being really sneaky this time.
Okay.
He was
All
on
right.
tip. Can you just picture him up on tiptoe? Just boop
He
boop
had on
boop
his
boop
best
boop.
sneakers.
Ah,
Okay. He's just making sure she's safe. Buffy talks to him about the aspect of the demon. She's kind of whine to Angel. And Angel says, I'm going to love you no matter what. even if you're covered with slime.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that's
sweet.
sweet. That's the Valentine I'm going to send you this year. Sean, I'll always love you, even if you're covered in slime.
Covered in slime.
We're back at school the next day. Xander is back to wearing his horrible shirts.
It was like it was either a Christmas shirt or like an Italian flag
I
shirt.
thought Italian flag.
It was every time I saw it, it was like it's Christmassy. I don't like it.
I went through a phase where I was getting colorful extensions put in my hair. I don't know if you remember that. And one Christmas I did red and green and white, thinking, oh, it's Christmassy. And I went down to my sister-in-law's family's house and they're all like, oh, you got Italian flag hair. Yes, that's what
Yeah,
I
it was.
did. Yes, to honor you and your family. That's what I did.
He's not all the time, but he's typically in like more like I guess autumnal colors.
Oh.
He's a warm autumn. No, I don't know.
I was just
But
thinking that.
it just
Color me beautiful.
I just thought it was just very it was distracting me the whole episode, that shirt.
Oh, I just registered it. I clocked that shirt and then I was like, oh, all right, Xander. All right. They're discussing the basketball game. They're very exciting and everybody had a great time until Buffy walks in and it's like very,
Yeah, it's like shh.
oh, that's the worst.
When you,
Oh,
when you walked into that manager's office.
oh yeah, that's exactly right. Oh, that's an awful feeling. And then Cordelia walks in to say how awesome the game was, even though Buffy's standing there. She's funny this season.
Yes,
Yeah.
She still has knee
She
marks
still
on her
has
back
knee marks on her back.
from the pyramid.
From the pyramid, you guys. Ha, slut shaming. Ha. Xander then thinks to himself, I wonder if Cordelia and Wesley kissed. And Buffy hears the thought. Ha ha, earshot. All right. So that's when we find out what's going on.
Yeah, she doesn't register at this point that she heard it.
No,
she just thinks he said something.
Yeah. Buffy bumps into Mr. Beach in the hallway and hears his thought. They would just take away the kids. Just get rid of the kids.
That's not a very good teacher.
I know. I can't say I haven't had the same thought. And then she starts hearing everybody's thoughts. So yeah, okay, this is what's happening. This is the demon's aspect of the demon. She goes to tell Giles, and then he says, that makes sense. They don't have mouths. That's why they're telepathic. But then they're saying, Buffy, you could use this power to your advantage. Right?
Yeah, know what someone's going to do before they do it.
Yeah. And then she does start to use it, not in that way, but in class. 2.8 GPA. She's going to turn that around right now.
She knows all about Othello suddenly.
And then we find out we meet Freddie Iverson. He's the one that writes the really depressing editorials in the paper.
Mm-hmm.
And
he sorry, go ahead.
And then Willow says he's sardonic.
So what exactly does that mean?
I think sardonic means you have, let me choose my words. You have an ironic outlook on things, a pessimistic view of the world, sardonic, and you express it through sarcasm and irony.
Okay, I like it.
You guys can correct us if I'm wrong. Then Buffy gives a very astute, well-spoken opinion about Othello, and the whole class audibly gasps. What? Because they all know 2.8.
Yeah. And Willow's thinking she did the reading. She understood the reading.
Again, this is why you don't want this. You don't want this power.
And she hears Freddie, so he thinks something about breadcrumbs, bread crusts, something about bread.
I don't know.
Basically, I interpret it as their sheep is what he was.
Oh yeah. Then we're back at the mansion at Angel's.
Yes. My note is Angel Mansion with Faith. I'm sorry, I was over it.
I said at Angel's, enter Buffy, who just ducked out of school because it's all optional at Sunnydale High. She's trying to hear Angel's thoughts. She's like baiting him, talking about the whole faith thing. And then you can't get into my mind, which I was like, how does he even know that she has that power with others? Okay, whatever. And then he says, it's like the mirror My thoughts don't provide a reflection, and I have no
Yeah.
breath.
It was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And he says, "Next time, just ask." And I said, "Yeah, Buffy, stop being such a conniving little girl.
Yeah.
Mature
It's
up,
just the
girl."
and it's just the I understand, you're right, she's 17, 18,
Yeah.
but just the
She's young.
insecurity. The book I'm reading now, the main character has been with this guy for more than a year. He adores her, he loves her, and she runs into an ex, and then she's suddenly convinced he's gonna leave her for the ex. And it's just he's, "What do I have to do to get it through your head?"
Girls.
But it's not just girls, insecurity sucks them all.
Relationships. Am I right?
There you go. Yeah, that's
All
better.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So, I think she feels reassured at that. You think?
Yeah.
She feels better. That's good because that's what we want. We want Buffy to feel better. Back at the library, she lets the gang know what's going on, that she can hear all the thoughts, and then that's funny. That's a little comical scene where everybody's having their thoughts, and Xander is just thinking about sex, and Oz is having very philosophical thoughts, and Cordelia is pretty much thinking exactly what she's saying.
Yeah, I liked how Xander started doing multiplication tables in his head, but getting them wrong.
Yes. Yeah, that was pretty funny. And then Wesley starts thinking about Cordelia. And he says he has the mental discipline, but then he starts thinking about her. And I said, my prediction was correct because that was my prediction, was that he was going to say something about inappropriate about Cordelia, or have some kind of inappropriate something about
Mm,
her. So, haha. Willow is upset because now Buffy's going to know everything Oz is thinking, and she'll know him better
yeah.
than.
So really, everybody abandons her. They all run away,
Yes, they do. I might do the
and then
same.
she goes on.
What would you do? What would you do
No,
if you found out that I could hear all your thoughts, Sean? You'd be like,
try to have some mental shields up, but again, I think this is the same social studies teacher. I don't know what we were talking. He was talking about. He was like, "All right, right now, don't think about breathing,"
right,
and then all. So it's
right.
everything. You would know it all.
Yep.
You would know
Yeah.
it all, Mel. You already know it all, but
I don't want to know it all, Sean. I know enough.
I know enough. I'm good.
It's too much, Sean. It's too much. Buffy is in the hallway and she hears everyone, and it's very overwhelming. Mr. Beach again with "get rid of the students." It's that easy. Just get rid of the students. I don't know what kind of school you would have. You wouldn't have a job, Mr. Beach, but get rid of the students. Giles says this can't be reversed. Oh man, bummer,
Yeah.
right? Sorry. It does seem to be getting worse and worse. Buffy's in the cafeteria next to Jonathan, and he's saying she doesn't even know I'm here. And then we hear the thought, "This time tomorrow I'll kill you all."
Yeah.
Ooh.
He drops her tray,
She has a breakdown in the
overwhelmed.
cafeteria
Yeah.
and passes out. And then she wakes up on the lawn. Like, they don't bring her to the nurse's office, or they bring her out on
Just
the
the grass.
lawn.
Needed to feel the grass under her. She'll be okay.
So then we're coming up with a plan. She tells them what she heard, and she says, as Giles gonna bring her home, she says, "Get a list of everybody in the cafeteria." It had to be somebody there. And then she says Nancy was there. She's scary.
Yeah, that was random.
Nancy is the girl that was in the class, right? That was like,
Yeah.
why did she know that? I knew that.
Yeah.
And talk to Mr. Beach. They get the list, and Willow's going to do some cross referencing.
With the FBI mass murderer profiles.
Sure. Alta Vista, baby. She
Yeah.
got it. She got this.
So they all have their assignments.
Yeah.
Buffy's home.
Yes.
Joyce is avoiding her, but she did offer chicken and star soup. I was like, ooh, I used to love that.
Yeah, Joyce doesn't want to be in the room with her either. It wasn't that long ago that we were hearing Joyce talk to her friend. Remember her book club friend that she may or may not have had the lesbian affair with?
Yes, Pat.
About Pat, how she didn't want Buffy home. The things she says out loud are bad enough.
Can you
Imagine what's in her
imagine?
head she hasn't said.
Besides all like the criminal
Yeah,
details of the gallery. Oh my God.
She's thinking about all the offshore bank accounts that she's got, where she put all the gallery money.
Yep. But then Buffy finds out You had sex with Giles on the hood of a police car twice.
Twice. That was pretty funny.
I was reading the trivia that I think the writer Jane Espenson purposely put that in because I guess fans couldn't believe, or some fans couldn't believe that Giles and Joyce would have done that even under the influence of the band candy.
Oh, so this was like a confirmation they really did.
Yeah, yeah. She had handcuffs.
That's funny. Oh man. So then we see a little montage of the group interviewing everybody to try and get the information, figure out who it was. And funny Willow giving Jonathan the third degree about you have fantasies? You have fantasies about people? Sometimes you have to make the fantasies real, right? He's what?
I love Jonathan.
He's pretty good. Cordelia asks Mr. Beach if he's planning on killing all the students tomorrow. You're gonna kill all the students tomorrow? It's for the yearbook. Awesome. Oz goes to the newspaper office to interview Freddie, but Freddie is hiding under the desk. Ooh, is it Freddie? Is Freddie the suspect now?
Yeah, they definitely line that up.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah. Buffy is in her room and can hear everyone in Sunnydale now, not just people that are near her. God, man. I'd be like, knock me out.
Yep.
Oh, how
Where's the pro?
awful. That's just awful. Oh,
Yeah.
you can't escape. What do you do? I guess you could get
Yeah.
some headphones and play really loud music or something. That would help.
But if it's in your own head,
Yeah, but that might drown it out.
yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't
Don't want
lie
this.
down in my quiet room and just lie there and take it. I
Yeah.
don't know. You got to do something. Take some Benadryl or something. We're back at the library. Giles and Wesley have their mortar and pestle. They're trying to come up with some kind of potion to help. They need the heart of the second demon. And they're like, I don't know who's going to get that. Cut to vamped out Angel battling it out in the dead kid playground with the demon.
Mhm.
Yep. Back at school, we're interviewing Nancy. And then Xander's talking to Larry, the big gay bully.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm so out, my grandmother is fixing me up with guys.
Good for Larry.
He seems much less angry now.
Yeah, he
He's in
seems
a much
very,
better
very
place.
thrilled. Yep, yep. And he's telling Xander, just come out. It's
You
fine.
know, I'll get Freddie to
Still,
publish a nice coming out announcement for you.
obituaries coming out now.
I wonder how many of those there are in the school paper.
Going into a box, coming out of the closet.
That's
Whatever
right.
works.
Sunnydale High. Where you're either. Still can't find Freddie. Okay, so now Joyce is afraid she's going to hurt Buffy with her thoughts, of course, because she's the worst mom ever, and she probably is. Angel comes in. He's got the fluorescent demon goo. He puts it on the Bunsen burner. He's got his Erlenmeyer flask.
That's the one that's got a neck and then it comes down.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm impressed.
Thank you.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you. And then gives it to Buffy to drink. It was probably very hot. Goo down your throat. Coming. Yep. Here we go. Drink it. Take it. Okay, so and then she has like convulsions. And then we're back at school still looking for Freddie. Pan up to the tower. Oh, Jonathan. Jonathan with a gun.
Gun, yeah.
Poor Jonathan. He is effed up in the head, that kid. Buffy wakes up. Angel's there at her side because he loves her. She doesn't hear the thoughts anymore. Awesome.
Yep.
The gang finds Freddie. He thinks they're there because of a bad review he wrote about the dingoes ate my baby.
Not wrong. Yeah.
So Buffy comes in. They've got a new plan, evacuate the school. But then Cordelia finds something in the paper from Jonathan confessing. Why the editor didn't see this before it was published and go to somebody, I don't know.
It looked like, I thought it was just like a handwritten note that she had picked up.
Oh, I thought it was like,
I thought it was 3-hole paper.
oh, I thought it was like a manifesto in the paper.
Oh, no. I think it was just like,
okay. I take it back. All right.
you're wrong.
Sorry, Joss, for everything I've said. Now, okay, so now we're gonna go find Jonathan somewhere. Yeah, so they have to go find him as he's very skillfully prepping that gun. This is
Yep,
not
we
his
get a
first time with that
no.
dealing with that gun.
We get a gun assembly slash the Scooby searching montage.
Right. Xander, it goes to the cafeteria to look, but he gets easily distracted by Jello. Ooh,
Oh,
ooh,
Xander.
Jello.
I don't think my cafeteria had Jello.
Oh, I bet they did. I bet they
Yeah,
did.
I'm
It's super cheap and can feed a mass of people, so I'm sure they did.
sure the hospital cafeteria where we worked had it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Jonathan, okay. Oh, Buffy spies him from the courtyard. And then
Mhm.
there's some very actiony music as she like runs up the banister, doop, does some gymnastics,
Like
flips.
a super leap. Like it was more ridiculous than the one she did
It was pretty
over the
ridiculous.
school gate in
It
season
was
1.
pretty
So
better than crazier than episode 1 or whatever that episode was. Season 1 leap.
Games just dropped a new season of Fortnite, and there's some additional movement mechanics, and one of them is like a super wall jump. And I keep seeing all these TikToks. People are struggling with doing it, and when I saw her do that, it's immediately
You
when
know,
I thought of it, I was like,
super
"Oh,
wall
that's
jump.
a wall jump." Yep, yep. And then Nancy, that I could have done that. That made me laugh.
Nancy seems very unpleasant.
Yeah, I don't
I,
like
I
Nancy.
don't think we won't see her again. She's not sympathetic. Buffy crashes into the room, into the tower room to confront Jonathan. And I wrote Danny Strong that has a big scene here. This is his big moment of the series. He's right. You don't talk to me like we're friends. We're not friends. You
You
all
don't
think
think
I'm
I'm
an
an idiot?
idiot, a short idiot.
I I've been there. Not necessarily the short part, but I've had those feelings in the past.
Oh, but she says, "You're right. I don't think about you much at all. None of us do." Ouch.
Good job, Buffy.
Yeah, right. Ever caring.
I see a school counselor role in her future.
But then she tells him everybody has pain. She knows firsthand now. Everybody has pain. Look out there, and she gives a little speech about it. And he gives her the gun. But then he tells her he wasn't going to kill everybody. He was just going to kill himself. All right. You certainly fit the textbook definition or the look of somebody that was going to take out the whole school from the tower
With a
with a
rifle
rifle.
and in a clock tower.
Yeah.
He was sweaty. Like compared to her, he was covered in goo.
He's very stressed.
No, I get it. Like, I'm not saying he shouldn't have been, but like just compared to her, it
Yes.
just there's one scene
Yes.
where like the light was hitting him. Like
Yes.
he is moist.
They had the makeup artist on just to the side of the camera with
The water
the
bottle.
spritz bottle.
Yeah. How difference?
Yeah. Okay. Xander is in the cafeteria for his Jello. Stumbles upon the cafeteria lady putting the rat poison in the food. The giant box of rat
Giant
poison
box.
that's labeled rat poison. Very subtle. She chases him into the lunchroom with the cleaver. And then Buffy comes in, and then there's like the worst stunt people fight. The lady the stunt person for this cafeteria lady is like a totally different size and shape than this lady.
Normally, I don't notice it. I
Oh,
did today, but I also was looking through the trivia, and somebody had pointed out on the DVD commentary that like it's so
oh,
obvious. So
it's
I
so
feel like I was
bad.
looking more.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw it.
it's really bad.
Yeah.
Um, the cafeteria lady is knocked out. Woo! She's the one that
I
obviously had said she was going to kill everybody.
I wonder if she was the same cafeteria lady from season 2, Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered, with the rolling pin. Remember when
Oh yeah,
all the women were
that
attacking?
was in love with Xander.
Yeah,
Oh, I wonder. Okay, so then we have the little epilogue scene. Buffy and Angel are good. Jonathan is not good, but he's dealing. I wonder if that's the last we're going to see of Jonathan. Is that the last episode that we see Danny Strong? And I
we'll have
wonder
to wait and
why.
see.
Oh, all right. I wonder if they knew from season 1 when they kept putting him in every now and then, were they developing this? He's always in the background and not really a part of things, removed and
He so slowly starts creeping in more and more.
yeah. Oh, and so Buffy is looking in on him and She says he's starting to get that look in the eye like he's gonna ask her to prom. And Giles, maybe you should. And she's like, "Huh,
Oh, he's short.
don't be crazy. He's 3 feet tall. What am I, Saint Buffy? No, you are far from that.
No,
We
definitely.
know you are not going to do that. Yeah. Giles, you want to train later? And she's, yeah, sure. If you're not too busy having sex with my mother.
And then he walked into a tree,
That
which
was
according to
funny.
yes,
That was,
according to the IMDb trivia, he just did that. He improvised. That
oh
was
my
not in the
gosh.
script.
Yeah, that was great.
I thought that was cute.
That
Yeah.
was great.
Yep.
That's it. The end.
Yeah. Yeah. How many steaks did you give this one?
I will give this one 375 steaks.
Okay. 3.5.
It was like a very special episode.
It was. They did wrap it up well.
Yeah.
But then, like, conversely, having not seen it the original season 3 run through, you didn't really need it.
No.
But I do feel it was a
It
good
was pretty good
standalone
though.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't the Zeppo.
No. And it wasn't the pack.
Yeah.
And yet it
Very
wasn't
true.
Ted.
Yeah.
Favorite line?
Favorite line?
Oh,
Um, I think it's gotta be Buffy. You had sex with Giles on the hood of a police car twice. It's just so funny.
mine was when Cordelia asked Mr. Beach, "Hi, Mr. Beach. I was just wondering, were you planning on killing a bunch of people tomorrow?" It's
It's
in
for
the
the yearbook.
yearbook.
Good one.
All right, what's next?
Next, we have season 3, episode 19, Choices.
All right, choices.
What is happening in Choices?
Choices. Who has to make choices? Somebody's going to make
Sophie.
choices. So many choices. Buffy's going to have to choose what she's going to do about Faith. I think Faith is going to be back, and she's going to have to decide if she's going to have it out with Faith finally or not. Yeah.
All right. Any other choices occurring in this episode?
Wesley is going to have to choose to stop flirting with Cordelia.
That's fair.
All right.
I'm with you. All right.
Xander is going to choose what flavor Jello he wants for dessert.
I like it.
All right. I think that's it. You
I
guys,
think you're right.
please check us out on the socials. We are everywhere except for X and Snapchat, and we are at the Sunnydale Diaries. We are on Blue Sky as Sunnydale
At Sunnydale
Diaries.
Diaries.
Have you been using Blue Sky?
I was up until the last 3-4 days because I haven't
You
been
haven't been
feeling
feeling
well. But I mean, I really like, I know I mentioned this before, but you can create a feed based on a keyword or a hashtag. So I have a Buffy one, and I just randomly, anybody just who writes like, oh, I just started watching Buffy. Oh, then you
Oh,
should check out our
yeah.
podcast. Or I put one out there. I don't remember how I phrased it, but it was like, Buffy is not a good friend, and got some polarizing opinions on
Oh,
that.
yeah. That's a polarizing statement.
It is.
But
It
it's
is.
true.
Yeah. So I'm trying to add that to my morning before work. And you and I both, we do the New York Times
Yeah.
games. So I do that. I do 10 minutes of TikTok, and then I'll do a little Blue Sky
Yeah.
scrolling.
I haven't had a chance to really get in there and check it out. And I've got to figure that out, how to do the feeds, because you did tell me about that. It sounds interesting. You can email us. Our email is thesunnydalediaries@gmail.com.
Yep.
You can find our website, which is thesunnydalediaries.com, and that's where you can find all of our episodes. You can get a link to our Discord server. You can download our PDF Jenny calendar for 2025. You can also get the details for our awesome contest, the 5x7 by 5 haiku contest. And is that it? Did I get it all, Sean?
Did you mention the Discord server?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's
Get a
everything.
link to the Discord server on the website. Feel free to drop us a line. If you have any questions, comments, jokes, bring them in.
Discussion topics
Do you have any
for the
questions,
prom
comments?
episode. Because we've already talked about proms.
Every week we have to come up with a discussion topic based on the episodes, and it's not always easy. So if you guys can come up with a good discussion topic for choices or for an upcoming episode, that would be very helpful for us.
Absolutely.
Right. You guys, we will see you next time for choices.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.